What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be reacting to 5 Essential Tarkov PVP tips for beginners. Recent wipe of Tarkov and everyone and their mother playing this game, I thought that maybe it's a game that I should check out. It didn't always look super interesting to me. There's some aspects that didn't seem fun, like people sitting in bushes and things like that, but you know, I figured I would watch a video to kind of learn the basics to see if it was something that I do want to pursue. Now, I know nothing about Tarkov, so if there's like a montage I should watch, make sure to leave a comment down below. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Escape from Tarkov is an extremely punishing and unforgivable game to learn, even more so when trying to learn PvP combat. That's why today I'm going to be teaching you 5 of what I believe are the most important tips you'll need for improving in PvP.
I see people
Before we get into it, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/JonnyBooSock or on TikTok under the same name.
Want to pick up and stuff
Number
like that.
1,
I just feel like there's a
running
lot
is a
that I would have to
tool,
learn.
not a necessity. I can't even begin to count the number of engagements with other players I've won simply because my opponent was running at the wrong time. I often teach people there are 2 primary times that you should utilize running: when repositioning in a fight or when passing through an area of high risk. Too often, players feel the need to constantly be running immediately every time their stamina bar is full. This not only hinders your ability to hear those around you, but also makes it easier for enemies to hear you from a greater distance. Additionally, your stamina bar may end up getting depleted by the time you actually need it. Use your best judgment. If you're positive there are no threats anywhere near you, or if you're passing through an open area without cover, run all you need to. But if there's any uncertainty about whether or not an unknowing enemy is in your vicinity, it's usually best to approach more slowly, giving you the chance to better determine the enemy's position, should there be one nearby. Number 2, right-hand peeks. In Tarkov, you have the ability to lean using your Q and E keys, or slow lean using Alt-A or Alt-D. This can help you peek corners without exposing your entire body, or hold tight angles you wouldn't be able to otherwise. Since our PMCs are currently all holding their guns on the right side of their bodies, and bullets come from the actual barrel of the gun, leaning to the right has a huge advantage. You're able to peek an angle while exposing very little of your body, usually only showing some of your head and right arm. But when leaning to the left, in order to actually fire your weapon, you need to peek far enough where you're exposing nearly every limb of your body, minus maybe your right leg. This means that whenever you're in or about to be in a firefight, try to focus on repositioning to a location where you can hold a right-handed peek, as it will give you a much higher amount of cover while still being able to have the same amount of vision. Number 3. Full auto isn't always needed.
I mean, that's obvious.
It can be pretty tempting to always opt for a full auto gun, or hold down left click the moment you see an enemy pass by. I'll often see beginners dumping their entire mag the moment they see a sliver of an enemy's body on screen. Of course, if you're close enough, able to keep your recoil under control, and confident that enough of your shots will land, by all means, fire away. But spray and pray usually doesn't work out well in Tarkov. When the enemy is more than a few meters away, your recoil will be high enough that the majority of shots will not land where you want them to, especially with lower level builds. Also, with the time it takes to reload after emptying a mag, you're exposing yourself to being defenseless for a short period of time, leaving an easy window for the enemy to take advantage of. Try to improve at tap firing first for mid-range fights, so you land your shots where you want them. It can prove to be deadlier to hit the same body part multiple times accurately, as damage will very quickly spread to every other part of the body by damaging a blacked limb. Number 4, utilize head turning. Tarkov is a bit different than other shooters, as its combat is much more of a battle of who has more information on their opponent than it is who can land the best shot. There are many ways you can gain information about your enemy, one of them of course being visual information. By holding down the middle mouse button, you're able to freely move your character's head independent of which direction the rest of their body is facing. You can combine this with running to easily gain visuals of everything around you. A great example would be when running through an open area. Ideally, your focus should be on running one direction, getting to a better location where you aren't exposed. But while in motion, you can be turning your head to the sides, checking all around you for threats. Another good example would be when checking through a doorway. Most players will either step or lean in front of the doorway to look inside. While this works, you're blindly exposing yourself to what could be an enemy sitting behind cover holding an easy angle. A better option would be running past the door, turning your head to look inside. You'll be moving fast enough where an enemy will have a tough time nailing a shot on you, but not so fast that you can't get a look into the room. Lastly, number 5, don't be scared of aggression.
Examples of videos
As stated earlier, Tarkov fights are mostly a battle of information, which makes them a bit of a mind game. You can do many things to make it harder for your opponent to know what to expect, many of which bucket into playing more aggressively. By constantly repositioning, being the first to pre-fire angles, throwing grenades to prevent
like
your
I could
opponent from
outplay
coming out of
people, which is
cover, and
kind of
all
what
around
interests me
moving more
about the PvP of this
unpredictably,
game, and
you
I
will make
always
it
think that
much
the
harder for your
scavenging
opponent
aspect
to
of games is
confidently make a
always super
move.
fun, so
If you're simply holding an angle and shooting
definitely
without
something I'm
repositioning after, you're
looking at
making it
maybe getting
very
into.
easy for an enemy to push and know exactly where to expect you.
I'm interested to
By
see if
playing
people
more
would
aggressively,
be,
your enemy will have to constantly
or
question
people
your
would want
next
to
move
watch
and
like
have a harder time deciding where to go
learning the
themselves. I often
game
call this tactic
series on my
owning the
main
fight.
channel.
If you own the fight, you have control of where it goes. You can move in ways around your enemy that keep them in place, letting you have more ground to work with and more options of how to push forward. This is probably the hardest advice I've given in this video, but just give it a shot and see how it fares for you. You don't have to be the better player to win the fight. Catch the enemy off guard and don't let them sit in their comfort zone. And that's all I have for this video. If you have any more questions, leave it in a comment down below, or if you would have said anything.
A very good job with the video. Yeah, I mean it looks interesting. Like I said, I feel like it would play to some of my strengths. I just don't know how fun it would be. I feel like, you know, when people have explained the game to me, it's essentially just you loot and loot and loot and just try to get as much money as possible, and then they wipe everything and you start over. And like, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but I mean, clearly people enjoy it. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that haven't sounded fun, and then I ended up playing them and they were. So maybe it's something new. Like I said in the intro, if there's any other videos that you guys want me to watch Tarkov related, make sure to leave a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.